Their bullets ring out in deadly gunfights on the streets of Mexico. Their very presence instilling fear. Allegedly arming organizations whose illegal drug operations have fueled an out-of-control fentanyl crisis in the U.S. and sending masses of migrants fleeing across the border.
I came here because my husband was murdered.
American-made guns in the hands of Mexico's violent and powerful cartels. And now Mexico says the makers of those guns should be the ones to pay. The government scoring a victory last week as a U.S. federal appeals court cleared the way for a $10 billion lawsuit to proceed against 6 of the biggest gun makers in America, including Smith & Wesson, Glock, and Ruger. Mexico accuses those companies of aiding and abetting an illegal trafficking network of weapons from American gun stores to Mexican cartels. A market Mexico argues that makes those companies hundreds of millions of dollars in profits. According to the appeals court's latest ruling, Mexico must now prove that American gun companies have deliberately catered to the illegal market by design choices, marketing tactics, and selling to parties that are known dealers for the cartels.
Here we are with a manufacturers of some of the most deadly weapons on the face of the earth, and they stick their heads in the sand, say we have no obligation to anybody to monitor and discipline our distribution system.
Mexico has extremely strict gun laws. According to their lawsuit, there's only one store in the entire country. And yet, based on the latest data from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation, the country has the 3rd most gun-related deaths in the world, which Mexico alleges are fueled by hundreds of thousands of weapons smuggled across the border. Former ATF Special Agent Chris Demline led the most recent government investigation into how this happens.
We had networks that crisscross the United States, funneling weapons down south to the cartels. They work like terrorist cells. They don't know each other.
His team found that up to 85% of firearms at cartel crime scenes are traced back to American gun stores.
Those people go and buy the guns. They give them to the cell leader. Okay, that cell leader then collects those guns from all his cells. He brings them to their known smugglers, and then the smugglers smuggle them into Mexico.
Homicides in Mexico have increased dramatically over the past several decades. The lawsuit alleges that just 15% of those deaths were gun-related in 1997, and that by 2021, that number had risen to 69%. This spike in the middle, Mexico points out, came shortly after 2004, when the U.S. federal ban on assault weapons expired. But American gun advocates say that the Mexican government is wrong to blame American gun makers.
There is no marketing to drug cartels. The Mexican government has failed in its moral obligation to its citizens to bring the cartels to justice.
Lawrence Keene, general counsel with the National Shooting Sports Foundation, says the gun manufacturers plan to seek review by the U.S. Supreme Court in early April. This report is the first time that plan has been made public. The Biden administration has touted new steps to combat gun trafficking, including a new anti-cartel weapons trafficking group on the southwest border. But even improved efforts are only stopping a fraction of that traffic.
Nearly 2,000 firearms were seized from last October to just this past March.
Somewhere between 250,000 to 1 million firearms a year are trafficked into Mexico. We have the laws, we have the capability. We're the largest, most powerful country in the world. We need to stop this problem.
Stephen Romo joins us now on set. So, Stephen, how is Mexico so confident that these guns are coming from U.S. manufacturers? How do they actually trace that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually asked the attorney representing Mexico in this case, and he said they're eager to present that in discovery, something they're waiting to get to right now. But we've spoken with the ATF, our own intelligence agencies here say that they've been able to trace about 85% of these weapons found at cartel crime scenes back to the U.S., that in an operation called Project Thor. Mexico, in their lawsuit, estimating 70 to 90% of the guns trafficked come to the U.S., so that lines up pretty well with that 85%.
And speaking of that lawsuit, they're asking for $10 billion. How did they get that number?
Yeah, I asked that question as well. That is a lot of money, and they listed so many different things. Hiring more police officers, arming them better so they can combat these heavily armed cartel fighters, along with funerals, because so many people have been killed. There's a very long list they also plan on presenting in court if it actually reaches that step.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.